I'm James Finney. I'm the lead designer on Guild Wars, and right now our big focus is Guild Wars Eye of the North. So the story for Guild Wars Eye of the North involves some ancient evil coming from deep below Tyria. We wanted to, with Eye of the North, be able to do something that explored dungeon crawling, and this gave us a great opportunity to do that. We also wanted to use the story in Eye of the North to create continuity between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. So for example, we knew we wanted to have a couple of new playable races in Guild Wars 2, the Norn and the Asura, and rather than introduce them kind of out of the blue, this expansion gave us a great opportunity to introduce players to them, see how players react to them, and go from there. We've always thought that Guild Wars had an advantage over other MMOs in terms of its ability to tell a story because of our heavy use of instancing. And we've always tried to pay off the promise of that. And I think every campaign, every release that we've done, and now with Eye of the North, you see us getting more experienced and better at doing it. You know, we've got a bigger cinematics team this time around than ever before. PvP players, we want to pick up Eye of the North for the new skills. We realized that, especially for PvP, Guild Wars risks getting way too complicated if we continue to add professions and things like that. And so part of the reason we decided to do an expansion instead of a new campaign was to try to do what the players really wanted and needed. So adding the new skills, and there are 100 new PvP legal skills in Eye of the North, I thought was a good way to do that for PvP players. For other things, we're really not looking to charge people money to upgrade the existing game, you know. So for example, we just changed a bunch of Heroes Ascent maps that we think are making improvements to the way that part of the game plays, and we're going to continue to do that kind of stuff without people necessarily having to buy anything. In general, we try to have a lot more fun with and be, I guess what I call a little more video gamey with the content that we've done in Eye of the North. Take advantage of the kind of tools that we have and show off things playing in a different way. So, you know, whether that's pools of lava that cool and harden and then you've got to run over to this area when you're in a boss encounter, a little bit better sort of pattern boss encounter stuff, whether it's interacting with the golems that the Asura make, being able to sort of turn them on and off, having one with sort of a protective aura around it. You got to stay near that aura when you're in the dangerous area. Or, yeah, giant rolling balls in a dungeon or other kind of traps. You know, we spent a lot of time early in the project coming up with the kind of rules for the different kind of traps we were going to have and all that kind of stuff, and to try to really make each encounter more unique and more interesting. So the origins of doing an expansion also started with the idea of us doing a sequel. So when we talked about the things that we wanted to see in Guild Wars, we realized that we needed to get a little bit of a fresher start in order to be able to have the persistent world where you would go out to adventure and there'd just be a lot of other people there, which we think can sort of help the social aspect of things, where we could introduce different playable races. There were a lot of choices we made about the way art works in Guild Wars 1 that would have made it very difficult for us to introduce playable races in a really strong, good way in Guild Wars 1, but we're able to do it in Guild Wars 2. And then also just the level progression and the kind of rate of rewards. We think that Guild Wars has proven to be pretty strong in terms of the sort of character development and people's desire to collect things and continue to build on the kind of achievements their character has acquired. But, you know, there's another aspect too that we felt like we could add, and so we're looking to have a broader actual character progression in Guild Wars 2. There are a lot of achievements that you can get in Guild Wars 1 that are a lot of work. And it seemed like our best bet was to really try to make it so that those things could be recognized in Guild Wars 2. And that led us to the idea of the Hall of Monuments, where it's kind of fun for Guild Wars 1 too. All of the big accomplishments you have with your character. Have you completed this campaign? Have you earned this title? Did you evolve this hard to acquire pet? Get this cool weapon? All these sort of achievements that people do work really hard to get in Guild Wars 1. If we could build a place where it would show off and recognize all those things, and then store that information in a way where in Guild Wars 2 you can make a character and say, I've inherited all this stuff from this Guild Wars 1 character, and then be able to have that. Leading into the release of Guild Wars Eye of the North, there'll be a big preview event. If you're interested in being involved in that, Guild Wars website will give you every bit of info you want to know, but it'll be right before the rest of the game goes live. You can play a little earlier and get a little bit of a head start.